Happy new Leo moon, everyone. I am beyond excited to have one of my certified Reiki practitioners joining today. Her name is Tessa into the Mystic 1109. So I cannot wait. There she is. Okay, here we go. Hello there, Cheller. Everybody also check out Cheller. Cheller has an amazing upcoming offering as well. I can't attend because unfortunately I'll be in sessions, but I believe it's this Sunday, right, Cheller? Please feel free to leave some comments here. I'm going to share it later too. Okay, I'm inviting you to go with me. Dun, 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 dun. Hi!
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. You look great. You look like you got some sun or something's going on here.
I've been riding my bike, in the hottest part of the day during the afternoon, mid-afternoon.
Good for you. I love that. Making it work and like totally working it. It's good stuff.
Oh, it's so nice to see you. Your house is always so bright. It's like so dark in this corner right now. I have all these lights on, but
It's the ring light. To be honest with you, you're gonna laugh. My house is actually like this area is light, but the rest of my house, people come over and I keep my hurricane shutters up all year.
oh my God, yeah.
As blackout shades in my
Yep.
room and in the other rooms. And so like people are like it's really super dark in here. I'm like, yeah, it's a vibe.
Perfect. I love keeping my house dark, especially when it's hot.
Yeah, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. But I'm so grateful that you're here. I want you to obviously introduce yourself. Everybody, if you're not following into the Mystic 1109, you're definitely going to be following this beautiful soul after. And I'm so glad, that you're also a certified Reiki practitioner with me. And I'm just so honored to have you here. But yeah, please feel free to just introduce yourself and all about Tessa. Yeah, go for it.
Well, hi everyone. Hi Lindsay, I see your comments. So I am a Reiki practitioner. I've been doing a lot of Reiki lately. The last 2 weeks I've been doing some really powerful, awesome Reiki in terms of for them, but also for me, cool experiences. I also do tarot readings. I do astrology chart readings. I usually am a little more active on Instagram, but I've taken a break for kind of about a month and a half or two.
I feel like a lot of us healers have been.
Yeah, and I felt kind of weird about it at first, a lot of pressure, the pressure to put things out for work and to connect. But yeah, I've seen it as my kind of break is going on a little bit longer. I've seen other people doing it too. So
yeah,
really happy to hear about that. Yeah, it's just been an interesting time and we've all needed to take a break. Cancer season was kind of a lot.
It was a lot.
A lot. And so yeah, I took a little bit of break to kind of reframe. I have some certifications that I'm finishing in a couple weeks. They're all due by the end of August. So I've really been, this break, I've been cranking out my book work that I need to do. Yeah, last year when I did Reiki with you, you had mentioned a course the last day when I had finished Reiki, and it was that course I had already signed up for, but hadn't finished, and I'm about to finish it soon. So
congratulations.
I'll be sharing
That's
more about
amazing.
That soon. I don't really know what
so
I'm going to do
amazing.
with all of that, but yeah, I'm going to have my 2 certs soon. So we'll talk soon about that.
I'm so excited.
And also teaching, right? I taught one course at the end of May, and I had every intention to do some more this summer, but then it was ooh, I have these deadlines coming up already. I don't have time to do more. I didn't realize how time consuming it would be. So I will have more classes coming soon, though. Really want to be doing that, more tarot astrology classes for those of you who are interested. And I'm just kind of doing a little bit of everything right now, kind of trying to figure out how to regroup and reframe and where I want to put my time and things like that. You know how it is.
Yes. And it's so beautiful. I mean, you are just such a powerhouse. I've had a reading twice with you and it's always been so fantastic. And I'm just honored that I am also taught you Reiki and that you're applying it. I saw that you were doing a post that you had a really cool kind of Reiki experience with somebody recently that was kind of connected, right? Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, I did a Reiki on this lady recently. Are you talking about the lady who was engaged? Yeah, I did. Yeah. I didn't find out till after I finished her session. Somebody else told me, but she was allegedly used to be engaged to Bill Clinton's half brother of Roger Clinton like 30 years ago, the cokehead, so
Oh my
was
God. That's like,
incredible. I found it out and I was just like, how me of me to have like worked on somebody like that.
I totally, when you posted it, I was like, that's so Tessa,
It's like, it
I,
was hilarious. And one of the ladies, her former husband, he passed away, but he used to be the master mason of the town that I was in doing the work like years ago. And I never knew that. And I was like, what?
wow,
So it
that's
was an amazing
insane.
day on many
Wow.
levels.
So I know that you are a powerhouse. You are a Reiki practitioner with me. By the way, my last level 1 and 2 training of this year is happening in August. So if you are curious, this is the last time that I'll be offering level 1 and 2. I'm going to be offering my master's in October for anybody who's maybe asked. But for at least right now, level 1 and 2, this is it. So I'm so excited. But I would love to
Take it,
just,
y'all. Take it. It will
oh, thank
change your
you.
life. It's so easy to like learn if you're interested. It's so easy, and Jess is like a great teacher and just puts it out there very like down to earth, easy to digest. And it's just like I said, it's easy because you're like, oh, this is what I have to do. You just have to learn, and study and practice. That's it. Jess is like
Well,
amazing.
oh, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. I'm so excited. I'm really honored too because I feel like what it sounds like, from even like just hearing you say, it's like what I love about Reiki is that you can literally interweave it into everything that you're already doing. It doesn't have to be something that's like so separate. And that's where I think it's like really kind of quite amazing. And I think even if you end up not becoming a business that offers Reiki healing services, but this is like something that you can just use like for your pets. Like I just like did an amazing like little reel of like how I Reiki infused Pepe's food, like how you can heal even yourself. So like that's what's so great I think about Reiki. But I also want to talk about, because tonight we have our first live sale and we took a hiatus for like the last 3 months. Things will look a little
Ooh.
different, but they're going to be great. But yeah, we took a little bit of a hiatus. Things have kind of shifted and we're back, and I'm excited because it's the new moon, which I can't wait to hear everything that you're going to share because it's so funny. This cancer season, I can't say that cancer season is typically rough for me, but this cancer season was rough. And
Yep.
then it was really interesting. I noticed an energetic shift like the day that we went into Leo season.
Yeah.
And and I felt like inspired to get like back out there. So I'm
Yeah.
so curious, break it down for us. What is this new moon? How can we work with it? And I figured that as you're sharing, I'll like kind of download some messages and do some like Reiki. We can kind of like, and I'll like kind of like have that kind of intention. But I want to hear, yeah, tell me about this new moon.
Well, a big thing. So there's a couple things like if we are just looking at if we're looking at like the tarot cards for the energy, you're going to be looking at the Strength card and the High Priestess card. I
Mm.
don't have mine out
Ooh,
already, so I'm looking for it.
that makes a
Yes.
lot of sense.
A
Wow.
lot of sense. Okay, here they are. So yeah, if you guys have your tarot cards, like feel free, grab your majors. But so the new moon is in Leo, right? The High Priestess card is the card that corresponds with the moon. It's the moon representation. So this would be the moon in Leo because strength is Leo. So this is the vibe of the new moon today. These are two very internal energies, even though strength is like a really bright energy. And, Leos we tend to see as extroverts and putting on this greater than life energy. Strength is an internal quality that we project out. So everything is very internal.
Ooh.
Hi, Bethany. Perfect timing. This is really the energy, the vibe. We all can see it during Cancer season. It was in different ways that we all experienced it, but there was this big internal crabbing, going within, cocooning, staying home, doing less, like this kind of thing, because we were in this watery season of Cancer. So we had to be still and let the emotions come up that we don't like to process all the time. Look back to Pisces season, which was what, 3-4 months ago. That was the last water
Oh,
we had, and
that
we all
makes
were
so much
very,
sense.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So we've all been like really digesting a lot of emotions, and it'll be a little different depending on where like Cancer falls in your chart of what you were really processing last month. But Cancer season in general connects to our emotions, our family, our past. So any past, hurts, pains, if things from childhood or just our, past in general. So in diving through all that sludge, we all were pulling up a lot of old patterns, seeing a lot of things that we're doing that we maybe have been thinking have been other people, arguments we've had, or maybe things we've been projecting. It was very clear that, oh, this is actually like my thing that I'm doing and that I have to work through. So in different levels, we all had something revealed to us, either in our emotional world of like thoughts that we really need to shift. Maybe it's patterns that we're playing out that really do need to shift. And again, if you look at your chart, you'll see it in different areas of your life. For me personally, my chart follows like the classic. So Cancer energy is in Cancer house for me. So spot on. I relived and was going through a lot of like early childhood wounds and really seeing a lot of how they affect me now more clearly, seeing some things very like, oh, like I knew this, but oh, we like see the truth now and it's kind of ugly. Yes. A lot of ugly truth. Yeah. And so that was Cancer. And now here at the Leo new moon in Leo season, the last 2 days we had our moon in Cancer. So even though, right, like you said, definitely when we switched to Leo season, that day there was this shift of like new fresh energy. Like I need to shake this off. I need to get out of my funk. I need to try to figure out how to get ahead of it. That Leo or the Cancer moon the last 2 days we've been looking back at some of these things again that we experienced. But
why are you in my head always?
Because we all doing it, man, and it's nuts. But we've been reviewing it the last 2 days, but we can see it. It's a little brighter, right? It's not as dark in the pit and like hard and cruel and dense. It's much more like, okay, yeah, we saw it, we've acknowledged it. Okay, I'm kind of like accepting it, figure out what to do. So then now that takes us here to the Leo new moon where we've gone through that intense cycle. We've seen it again with this energy of Leo. I remember when we're in that energy of Cancer season, oh, I have a note here. It's like we're in the dark light of the water, those lunar qualities. So now in Leo season, when we had our Cancer moon, we have like this light shining to illuminate all the things that we were internally seeing for a month. So now it's like we can bring them out more. So now this Leo new moon, talking about all of that, obviously you guys know new moons are like planting new seeds, new intentions, new cycles, all that kind of stuff. So it's connected to this. How are we starting fresh? How are we going to really handle some of the shit that we've seen? How are we really going to be better? You know, Leo really is about, right, being your best version of yourself, you know, being confident, being who you are, passionate, creative, joyful, like in touch with your inner child, all of these things. So how can we do that? And it's like a serious energy. It's like, how can we get serious about doing that? It's not an easy thing. So, right, keep those two in mind. And then I did pull cards just to kind of ask, like, right, so what is the theme of this new moon for all of us? Where are we working on it? What lesson do we have access to? And it is like, talk about magic and synchronicities, right? You're a Capricorn, so I know this is like very on for you. But for the new moon, the energy of the theme of this new moon is the Devil reversed with this Storm card. I mean, what the fuck, dude?
So, I'm like, what the fuck does this even mean?
It's amazing. Like, so the Devil card is Capricorn. Pluto is currently in Capricorn, and that's a tough energy we've been feeling for a couple years. Pluto is exalted in Leo, okay? And this is an energy that's usually a ruler of Scorpio. So Pluto being that raw destruction, that fire to transmute, that needing the truth, needing things to be real, how Scorpio's known, that energy works better in Leo. So right now, Leo's exaltation of Pluto is in Capricorn, and we have the death card, or the Devil card of Capricorn. So just talking more about how the theme here is really diving deep and bringing up that stuff and really moving it through and not playing the victim anymore, or not saying, I don't know what to do, or how can I change it? It's like, I have to. No one's going to do anything but me. Maybe I don't know how I'm going to get through this or figure this situation out, but I just have to go. Baby steps. Like, I have to just move one foot in front of the other kind of thing right now. So, right, we're all experiencing some big shakeup to our core and who we are, of course, in different degrees. But there's like these really big things coming out for us is the big key of it. Eight of Pentacles is like this darkness that we can face because of this Pluto energy. This is a great card. This is a card of like us working. Like it's like taking what we're good at and perfecting it and making it like our own. Not like working for someone else and doing the thing anymore, but like you're good enough at it. How are you going to change it? So this is also talking about we're really readjusting our perspective with like our worth a lot, our material abundance, our security. So we have all this earth energy. And then the lesson that we have that we can extract with all of it was the Tower card reverse. So like, this is a really, it's a hard new moon. It's definitely not a really bright,
feels like
bouncy, fresh new moon.
No,
like,
it doesn't feel like that at all.
It's like, handle it, handle the stuff, and then you will be rewarded. Handle what needs to be handled. And all these are reversed. So it just really means we're all kind of, everything's up in the air, which can feel kind of like, what do I do? But when everything's up in the air, you get to choose. And not only do you get to choose, that's when you really get to practice faith and trust, those things that we lose when we get in these kind of situations. Prayer is so big, you know, practicing therapeutic prayer, prayer in the way of like really feeling it, not, you know, asking for something and, you know, feeling hopeless about it, but like getting real. What do you want? And, you know, praying on that, imagining, right? Kind of like manifestation there, imagining what you have, what it feels like to have that, not leaning into that lack mentality of what you don't have. Hard though, right? Because remember, it's Capricorn. So these are things that these aren't things we've picked up in the last year or month. Like these are things we're all working through that we've acquired over a lifetime, from childhood, adolescence, from, early 20, like wherever we are in our journey. So they're deep rooted, they're ingrained. That's why there was a lot of that mental fog of us trying to figure out what's going on. Why am I going through this again? I thought I dealt with this, like we always kind of do. And then just to show you on the tree how amazing it is, because I swear when I saw it, I was like, what? Not only that all of these cards are very difficult, but they all are connected on the tree. Like literally they all touch each other. The Devil is this path, that 8 is right here, and the Tower is right here.
Wow.
This is literally the energy of this new moon. And the Devil, let me do it a little closer here. This Devil, it takes this path from Mercury, which is our minds, and it goes into this sun center of Tiferet, which is like our core authentic sense of self. So, you know, to be who we want to be, we have to be vulnerable. We have to face this darkness. We have to be real. We have to be raw. We have to release the chains. And so much of it is just changing our perspective. The Devil is a path where we change from regular conscious awareness to true spiritual consciousness. Like when we release the chains that we hold to the material, our obligations, what we think we need to do for people, they're all connected to old versions of us that are not current anymore. So this new moon, the big thing, if you take one thing away from it, it would be to sit down and just think, really look at who are you now? Like, who are you now? Who do you want to hang out with? What things do you like to do for fun? How do you want to show up for people? Because these things have changed since you've looked at it last time, guaranteed. Because how often do we sit down and look at that, right?
Right.
So just take an inventory of who you are right now. It's different than it was a week ago. It's way different than the beginning of Cancer season. So it's something to take note of. And we're all trying to grow and change all the time. So doing this reevaluation is a great way to see all the ways we've changed in a month, right? And the last thing I wanted to show you with that on the tree here too is, right, the High Priestess takes this path all the way from the top to the bottom of the tree. So it's a straight path, but it is the longest one and it's the most challenging because it goes through the most challenging areas. So that's the moon energy, and then strength is right here. So you can see these two cross on the tree. They literally are balancing everything for us right now. So This is why it is hard. This is why it does feel like we're getting into the dirt and having to get our hands dirty and dig things out. And I really don't want to plant a new sunflower, but I guess I have to. Like, it's that kind of thing. So it is hard right now. And remember, we're all going through something. Some of us are more open about it, and some of us, right, it's very hard because it's Cancer energy. It's deeply rooted. So just things to look at. And I know, right, you're a Capricorn, so Cancer season was your zodiacal opposite. So it would have been like very different for you, very much like, right, half your transition, big, powerful energy. And in Cancer season, it's hard. And it's would have been about, for all of us too, just ways of trying to feel more safe in our home, being like in our bodies and also
Yes.
in our home here. But how are we safe here? And if our thoughts are icky and connected to the past, then we are not safe. And that is on us. It's on nobody else, which is really hard to hear and accept. And I'm not alone in that. I've been working through that myself too. So, you know, we're all going through this. But on the other side of it, we have new energy. Leo, even though all of this is difficult, Leo is fire. It's fire, it's passions, it's spirituality. There is fun to be had. And keep in mind, you know, when that full moon comes in 2 weeks, energy is going to be very different than it is now. I really think we're going to be feeling more of that joyful Leo energy, more fun. We're all going to be on our bullshit a little bit more. You know, that fun Leo kind of thing going on. There's going to be some zing, some of that fire drama we all love. So that is coming. But, right, we just have to do this work now so that we can get to the other side. And I know, right, your crystals. So I pulled the crystal cards with it, and it was, the storm card doesn't have one. It's just storm.
That says it all.
Just a storm. The other one that goes here, fucking hilarious, is Moldavite. So like big time transformations to our work and what kind of work we want to do and how we want to give back and contribute and how we want to be of service. And then that last one of, it was like what lesson or wisdom we can extract with the tower. It's hematite, which says manifest light. And this card was all about bringing the spirit into the earth. And like, if you want things to be magical, it was kind of like, well, look around and see all of it. But if you want things to be magical, bring your best intentions to situations, bring all of your light, all of your magic, all of that. And then that's how we literally like bring it down instead of walking around like, oh, everything feels gross. What's going on? Like we're the channel, you know, but we all had to do it. It's Cancer, you know.
That just summed up my life in such an amazing way, you know, and kind of what I just want to say, that card pull that you just shared, something that just showed, like really just like kind of like hit me, was like a lightning stroke. Was
literally.
Yeah, literally. Was there's something that I learned from a shaman a long time ago that I thought was so potent, which is when we are in the phrase of saying, I don't know, that's unconscious energy. But when we actually shift and say, I choose to know, that puts us in conscious energy, right? And so kind of what I was just hearing you with this, like, you know, hematite and all of this beautiful energy, it's like, even though there might be a storm, even though we might be feeling all the feels, we get to choose to know what we want to really light up in our life for ourselves. Yeah.
Dude, you're so right. And right, it's kind of like, I mean, perspective, right? It's just how you handle a situation. And the beautiful thing about astrology is we all kind of know Cancer season's coming, right? But like you said, it was just kind of unexpected how it would be, because usually it's not so in the doldrums. It's usually like very nostalgic, but in kind of a good way, where it's like, oh, it hurts just enough. Yeah, it was super not this time. Very difficult.
Very challenging.
Right, I mean, we've reached like the halfway point of the year. So, you know, Spirit's like, hey, we got to round things up. This is a Gemini year. We have to change. There's lots of change to get us like aligned with what we should be. Because next year, when we're in a 7 year, it's a year of the Chariot, where we just move forward. There's a lot of initiating. It's not so much changing and figuring out and, you know, all of this evaluating and la-di-da that we've been doing. And then I was going to see, is there, the other thing I wanted to mention, and I don't want to spend too long on the astrology or anything.
This is great. This is fine. Don't even apologize. Okay. This is beautiful.
Something else that was, I forgot to mention that. And, looking for this, of course. I meant to get my majors in order.
This feels like therapy for me, just in front of, you know, other people on this live. Yeah.
That is so energy healing, dude. Like, it really is. You're doing something for someone else and you're like, can I go to the bathroom for a minute and get my shit out? Like,
so I'm like, yeah. I'm here for it. Yeah. Take your time. Talk about, exactly. People like, give us all the astrology. Exactly. Yep.
So the other thing then that I did forget to mention, the new moon today. So the new moon is happening in 5 degrees of Leo, in the 9th house of Sagittarius. So just to show you the visual, the card, Temperance is the 9th house of Sag. So this is the energy for the whole new moon. So it's a lot different than the cards that we did pull for what is coming through. So this one, wait. Okay, so Temperance is like, this transformative angel of healing, Archangel Michael. There's this like the sun sigil here on the top of his like hair. You see that? And like the fire. So this is like the transmutive element of fire coming through to help heal, alchemize things. The Temperance card is when you take like pieces of you and you blend them together to create a beautiful, refined whole piece. So essentially that's what we're all doing. We're taking pieces out that need to go, that can't fit into our new creation. And in doing this, then we bring it together and it's even stronger. Kind of really complements that Pluto energy, because Pluto does a similar thing where Pluto gets rid of everything except for the core real speck, and then you build on that. So we have Pluto and Pluto and Sag, that Temperance card, coming in to transmute, alchemize these elements, and to make sure nothing phony is in it. So a big healing element here. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was later on today, this afternoon, Jupiter starts its retrograde. It's like a 4.5 month retrograde.
No,
but it's good. It's good. It's good. It's all good. It's not Mercury,
I know, but I like Jupiter because it's expansion and it's abundance. And I'm like, so wait, what does this mean?
Exactly that, though. The expansion and the abundance is directed inward. It is not outward. It is inward. So, like I've said, everything with Cancer that we went through, Cancer season, all of that looking, all of the excavating, and now we're planting and doing these seeds of who we want to be and how we want to reach that, the courage we want to build, the stamina, the strength, the vulnerability, the endurance, all of those things. It's no coincidence, like today we have that new moon and Jupiter is like going within 4.5 months. So maybe there's going to be some difficulties with it, but Jupiter is a very benevolent energy. It is in Aries, which also points to more of that fire energy and more of that individuality, that personal freedom, that personal identity. So Jupiter is going retrograde within, and all of us are going to have more of a spotlight on our internal world, like our spiritual nature internally, our creativity internally, our connection to divinity. That's what Jupiter is. It's also kind of like this higher mind knowledge thing. So we're going to be like finding ourselves wanting to study more things that are interesting to us personally, like how we could help heal ourselves more, or just things that are interesting in general that it feels good,
I get this now. Yes, because I'm like, okay, so basically it's like this inner expansion. I'm like, I'm having a whole breakthrough moment now. Like, I was like, listen, retrogrades, they totally they really can be intense, right? I actually love Mercury in retrograde, which is hilarious. Like that one, I love Mercury in retrograde, but I'm claiming it, I'm owning it. But it's so interesting because when I had seen something about Jupiter going into retrograde, like somewhere here on Instagram, and I was like, oh no, I really like Jupiter. But now I'm like, oh, this really makes sense because I'm actually like going and I'm writing my Reiki masters, starting like this month, and like all these. So I see what you're saying, where it's like this inward expansion of self, which when I think you do that, what wrong can come from that place when you just pour into loving yourself and getting connected to that expansion?
Yeah, exactly that. The difficult parts of it will be, since it's Aries energy, there will be like some breakthroughs, like personal breakthroughs or personal revelations or information that we learn that maybe we want to share with others, or that we want to teach or lead, and maybe it's not met with the same enthusiasm, and that's going to be timing, because we're all doing this. So that might be something like we want a lot of that external gratification or validation, might not get that much, which that will be frustrating. So be like, am I even learning anything? Does this even matter? And again, it's because we have to learn and expand within. This is not a people-pleasing energy. This is not, hey, do you think, no, it's not that. It's all
I'm actually
internal.
Here for that.
Yes,
I'm so here for that.
That's what we all need. Like this, not that it's bad to ask other people's opinion, but right, we all have different perspectives and we all are on our own journey. And you have to be so aligned with who you are and your internal compass to be able to know what works for you and what truly resonates. And right, Emperor energy is Aries. Like, we're restructuring, you know, we're getting more disciplined with our spirituality, with our expansion. Right. So also frustrations, it might be like, maybe there's like something we want to go do, or, you know, something fun, but it doesn't work out. And like, we have to stay home and do our internal thing, or we are maybe alone a little more than we want. Right. So that might be a frustration, but in terms of growth,
love that. I love that.
Excited.
I'm so excited too, because I feel like you know what, this is like where I'm going to be one of those spiritual people, and Erica, who's my alignment coach on here, will totally appreciate this as well.
Love you, Erica.
She's gonna crack up right now, and who's also a Reiki practitioner. But this will be great because I'm like, listen, Jupiter's in retrograde. I can't come hang out right now. I'm so sorry. I need to like work on myself. I'm gonna like, that's gonna be like my excuse. You know, like how like when you go ahead and like people are like, you know, hey, listen, I can't communicate, you know, technology right now during Mercury retrograde. Right. Now I know all the excuses for Jupiter in retrograde. I'm so here for this. Yeah.
I can't come out. I'm expanding inwardly, honey.
I'm expanding inwardly. Yeah. I'm so sorry, but I need to expand. You know what? Not even apologizing, because that's the thing that's so interesting. I just got to share this. It's coming through too, is that I did this chakra workshop with David G a couple years ago. And it was so beautiful, because when we got to the heart chakra, I was like, I got this. I love people. I love relationships. I'm so heart-centered as a healer. And I'm saying this not to sound arrogant. I'm actually saying that this is something that for me, I felt very confident in. And then towards the end of that session, was like bawling, because I realized that it was just coming from people pleasing and a lack of confidence within myself. And so here, all this heart energy that I was exuding, thinking, oh, it's so beautiful, was really coming from this place of external validation and growing up with a mentality to people please, because that's how I kind of got ahead. And so I love that this is an opportunity for us to kind of go inward to negate that, you know, to really just be in people pleasing mode for ourselves.
Yes, that is, if you could sum it all up, Cancer season, this new moon, and what's coming from this expansion, it's that, exactly that. We are getting in touch with what we really want. We're focusing on our own growth in a different way. And most of us here, like, this is what we're all doing. All of us here want to grow and expand. We want to be better people. We want to be better aligned. We want to bring the light down and really embody that. So this is a great time to do it. And, you know, we'll be transitioning into fall during that time too. So that'll be a really nice time to, like, you know, really be within. And fall's always my favorite. You know, I'm a fall baby. But
right, me too. I wish I was, but I'm not. But I am in my own spirit. Yep.
It's a different kind of creative energy. I mean, all the seasons you know, have that. But right, fall is a very creative time. We start to get into the darkness of fall. So we still are in summer. We're starting now. So it'll be a little lighter, expanding with this energy of Leo. And then Virgo, we can be like, we'll be a little more critical when we get into Virgo season probably, but also we'll be able to get a lot done with it. And then as we go into fall, we'll have some of those darker aspects come up, or we can get raw and real again and say, oh, the stuff I did during Leo season, time to reevaluate. Gotta go, you know, like,
I love
it's
it.
Just
well, and you know, and this is, I didn't even realize this, but this is such a great time that I'm launching my Reiki training for the last ones of this year, for level 1 and 2, for during this whole Leo season and this Jupiter retrograde, because it's all about coming in and doing self-studying and bringing that in. So I didn't even realize that. I mean, it always works out divine, right? But I'm like, wow, this is a really good time for people then, if you want to sign up to like learn Reiki, to kind of go inward and be able to give yourself that healing. Because I do Reiki on myself every single day. I basically meditate and then I do Reiki, and the shift that I feel in my body is like such a way for me to navigate differently in how I show up in the world. I don't know, what's your experience been like with Reiki? Just curious of how you interweave it into all the magical things you do.
I mean, it's awesome, right? And I do it for all kinds of different things. So like you said, I mean, it's really important to do it during the day. I will notice my mood change a lot. And definitely thought patterns, because right, they're just patterns. We wake up and we go right back into that programming. So right, if you start your day doing something like meditation or Reiki, it rewires your thinking and where you are for the day. And you know what I mean? It just really does. Morning is like the best time personally. I really like
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'll do it like when I, cleanse my cards. I'll do it like during tarot sessions. Sometimes we'll add a little Reiki like at the end to just kind of add in any more messages.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, something that's cool I'll do is like I'll think of like some of my friends, and I'm like, she needs Reiki, and like I have a few who already I have permission if I feel it, So I'll send it. I'll take my notes, and I'll be like, hey, and I'll send them all these weird messages of, I saw this and it felt like this, and
So
I hope this
beautiful.
serves, and
Yeah.
the feedback is always great. It shifts their mood, and sometimes doing Reiki really helps with intuition. So if you're interested in deepening your intuition or developing it and trusting it more, Reiki is something great, because I will find that I'll still see things and I'm like, this is stupid. What is that even? Okay, I guess I'll tell her this is what it felt like. Like, this doesn't make sense. And that thing is always the thing that people are like, how did you even know that? Or I literally just thought that today, or that's something that just happened to me, or that's, and it just is like, it can't be explained. So that's one of my biggest things with Reiki that I think is cool, and that I like to use it for, and helping me to trust more, because that's definitely something that I have an issue with. And
Yeah. No, it's so interesting because you talk about all of this energy with this new moon, what we kind of went through with Cancer and all, and we as we come back, it's like what I'm even hearing from the Strength card and the High Priestess. Every time I see the High Priestess, I think of obviously intuition. I don't even know if
yeah,
that's really what it's for,
that
but is it? Okay.
basically,
Oh,
yeah, intuition,
okay.
inner, yeah.
Okay. And I think about like when we're out of alignment in our third eye chakra, we're not trusting in our inner guidance and our inner education. And it's like it comes down to really coming inward to trust yourself. But it's like if it was easy, we would all be doing it.
Right. And so much, again, it just comes back to our programming and our thought patterns. Like, even if we're people who have been in this world, like, right, you're a Reiki healer, I do Reiki, we do this, but I still default to my programming of, oh, today's this, or oh, I need to do this, and put a lot of pressure on myself, when whoop, doesn't need to happen. Let's do Reiki. And it's like, you have all the time in the world. You have all the time. You're present now, and it expands time when you're present now. I saw a funny meme, and it was like, being present is like it was like, being present is like microdosing without microdosing. It's like the ultimate. It's like when you're present, you're like,
oh my God.
Is this the now?
So
wow. It made me laugh. So that.
You know what? That is the best thing I've heard in a long time. I'm writing that down.
Write it down. I don't remember where I saw it. I saw it on Instagram this morning.
Find it, oh my God, if you find it,
I'll look for it. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that so much. I mean, that's a whole different topic that we could go into another time.
Completely.
Like yeah, and
completely.
it's really interesting. But I loved every moment of that. I just want to share something that Cheller said. Lately, I've been trying to offer myself Reiki after I've had offered it to someone else. That's a great, I love that. That's a great little
fabulous
tip. Yeah, I find since my heart is in the spirit of giving and caring for others, that's when I can better turn that the offering inward. That's beautiful.
I like that, Cheller. I'm gonna try that.
That's a really good idea.
Do after, but usually if it's distance, there's not always. But yeah, I'm gonna have to start doing that.
So it's really interesting because I love what she's saying, but like I think that like we forget about Reiki for ourselves quite often too.
Yeah, we want to help other people, and it's like, well, I'm here to help others. I'm here to do this for them, and then we don't do it for ourselves, and that's something that I'm working on during Cancer season. Stepping back, doing my things I need to do that I've been neglecting and taking care, or that I need to take care of, and all that kind of stuff, like going to the eye doctor.
It's so interesting, Dr. Holly. By the way, Dr. Holly, I want to reach out to you because I want to have you on a live next week. But your brain waves with microdosing assisted therapy is actually the same wave pattern as seeing meditation, being in the moment. So yes, that's amazing. Yeah,
they are, dude.
Microdosing meditation. That's like the new thing.
I've never microdosed before, but I've done mushrooms before, but it's been a few years since I have. But they really like sparked my awakening. So
You know what I love to take, which is in the mushroom family, is ashwagandha. That is my jam. I love ashwagandha. It is such a great like mood balancer for me. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Um, but I love like what Cheller, like even for me, like I was saying, like how I meditate and then I do Reiki. I think what's so cool is like incorporating it into your routine so you can use it for your own self healing. But I would love to, if you're okay to assist me, I'll guide us through a quick meditation and like send some Reiki and get some messages, and then we can recap all of this for everybody that also is just joining.
I was hoping
Of
you would ask. Oh my gosh.
yes,
Okay.
so I think like let's ground. I'll get some messages, and then we'll end with like I really want to do like a nice recap because I feel like that is
There's a
just
lot.
such it's a lot, but it gives me this is the thing that I love about you, Tessa, is that you first off you're like totally in my head and my heart. When you say things, I'm like, oh my God. Like I'm like, it kind of scares me sometimes. So I'm like in a good way where I'm like, does she like, has she been like watching me? Like what's going on with my life?
I know.
But,
No.
but you know, but it's so amazing because you really have such a beautiful gift of tapping into the collective energy and really making it so direct and just specific, very intentional as to how we can work with the energy. Because I think that when we don't really know about it, we're just feeling all the things, right? It's like coming in and grounding this energy and saying, how can I really make this new moon work for me? Why? And I think what I love about you too is that you give me the why. Like I'm feeling all these different things and then you put it together for me of like the why and the purpose. So yeah.
Thank you.
Everybody loves you. Everybody's saying the thing I love about Tessa, everything. Yeah.
I'm gonna go have my cry in private when we're done, you guys.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes. So all right. So just
We'll do
give me
some
like a
Reiki
couple.
together.
Yeah, let's do some Reiki together. I'll guide us through a little activation with this new moon, Leo. Give me like just like 3 words right now, just like of how we would describe how to work with this energy from all of that we kind of just shared.
Things that we want to work with, that we want.
Yeah, like 3 words of like what we could describe this as. I'm going to incorporate them into this little activation.
3 words because I keep thinking of sentences.
Sentences are okay.
Strength could be, you know, a good one in general because that's what it is. Inner strength.
Okay. Inner strength.
Trusting inner guidance or trusting that inner strength, like that is a big one. Leaning into faith is big because of that the Jupiter thing. So any kind of way you want to do that, yeah.
Okay, all right. So join me in sending Reiki. I'm going to kind of activate us. Everybody that is here, just even put in the comments, I receive, I receive. We are so excited to be able to do this. This is awesome. So wherever you are, if you can, just take a deep breath in, closing down the eyes if you have it accessible, and then exhaling that breath out through the mouth. Let's do that 2 more times, breathing in through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. 1 last time, breathing in through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. And we're going to just start to slow down the breath. So beginning to just breathe in and out through your nose, breathing in slowly for the count of 5. And exhaling that breath out for the count of 6. Let's do that 2 more times, breathing in for the count of 5. Exhaling for the count of 6. One last time, breathing in. And letting that go. And now I invite you to start to just feel the energy of this day, the potency of this new moon in Leo, knowing that there is so much healing available to us to manifest and to truly take with us. And so starting to activate a little bit of your clairvoyance, the ability to see, I invite you to paint an image of a beautiful night sky. And in this night sky, you see all these beautiful stars. And you start to just see the sliver of this new moon. And as you gaze upon it, it awakens something in you. And so you start to ask yourself a few inspired questions. And the first question is, how would you like to elevate your inner strength at this time? Starting to feel that inner strength build and expand with all of the answers. Just seeing all of the areas in your life where you can show up and be that much more bold. Seeing yourself as truly the high priestess that you are, just breathing that in and gently letting that go. And next, asking yourself, what is one thing that you choose to trust in at this time? Just one thing. There might be many, but just really setting that intention, feeling that trust, just even start to enter into your third eye as you gaze upon this beautiful new moon, breathing in that trust and let that go. And the intuitive channeled mantra coming in as Tessa has guided us in this beautiful new moon activation and insight is this: I lean into my inner strength. I lean into my inner strength. I lean into my inner strength. And so I'm going to activate the Reiki energy with Tessa, and we're going to send you a little bit of healing now. And so just allowing yourself to take a deep breath in, and whenever thoughts start to drift or outside distractions, that's okay. Come inwards. We are coming inwards now at this time. I lean into my inner strength. And so it is. Taking a deep breath in and let that go. And now I invite you to place just a little bit of a intention in your heart of how you are going to activate your faith. Not just have it, but activate it. And so with this beautiful Reiki healing, let's just hold that intention to activate a little bit of faith in our hearts right now. Just breathing that in and exhaling that out. Sending future Reiki to having more faith. Breathing that in and letting that go. And whenever it feels divine, you can start to bring the awareness back into your body, back into your breath by wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, and just softly opening your eyes. Beautiful. Thank you. I got some good messages that I'll share really quickly, and then I want to hear from you. But I hope that felt great for everybody there, because it's always so funny. Pre-Jessica, pre-Jess Be Inspired, it's like, what's going on? And then after Reiki, I'm like, okay, let's talk about it.
I'm like, all right. Totally. I'm like,
it's like really like that's microdosing right there.
honestly, I'm like, do you see my eyes right now? I'm like chinking. That was so awesome.
Good. Every time I'm always like, all right, bye everyone, have a great day. I'm like, all right, let me share the messages, because it's like I'm just like, all right, let me take a nap. But you know, so funny, I cannot make this up, right? The two animals that are coming through today, as everybody knows, I channel animals on here, but is lion and zebra. I can't make up the fact that the lion came through. Right? Like amazing. And the zebra. So they both have two different messages for us. So first it was like the lion. And what I got here is, we are the masters of our domain in every single moment. We are the masters of our domain in every single moment.
Yes.
And I was asking like why we were getting this message of like how we can really work with it. And what I got is, so what energy are you choosing to master today? So what energy are you choosing to master today? For me, it's confidence, 100% today. That's like the energy that I'm going to choose to master. And I think that when we can set up the space to really say like you are your own, you know, Reiki master in a way. You are your own master of what, like, is that energy? What is that vibration for you today? And I think that when we can really kind of allow ourselves to be so intentional and so clear, that's where we'll start to shift into having life, not just like, you know, us like experiencing it, but actually working with it, right? So I was asking like why we were receiving all of these messages, and then I was brought to the zebra. And what I sense is that a lot of us feel still out of balance from Cancer season. And a lot of us feel almost like we've shifted into balancing more of what we don't desire versus what we do. So you may have like balanced more of like this energy, because the zebra is all about balance, that duality, right? It's in the root chakra. It's letting yourself be flexible in these heavier and less heavier emotions. And so some of us have actually been feeling more balanced in heavier emotions of just, we're feeling it, we're experiencing it. And so really what I'm getting is that now is a time for us to really shift in bringing in more balance. So this is what we got here, because we get to be balanced in more of what we desire. So if you've been more balanced in like anxious energy, stress energy, I'm literally like talking about myself. If you've been,
you are talking about me.
Like, yep. If you've been like more balanced in that space and that energy, Spirit is saying, no. What do you actually want to be balanced in more of what you desire? Whether that's confidence, abundance, whatever that is for you, but shifting some of that frequency. And because I love this, it's almost like Spirit was like kind of giving us like a spiritual, like tough love vibe, because this is what I got, right? I mean, I'm not surprised at all. This is your journey. How do you choose to feel more free? This is your journey. How do you choose to feel more free? And what I'm really getting with also too this expansion energy of inward with the Jupiter is that so much of what we've experienced recently didn't allow us to feel free. It was like there's a lot of different constrictions outside of us that were just like holding us down in some kind of way to ourselves, you know, like in this kind of way. So this is where Spirit is saying, no. How do you wish to feel more free? This is your journey. How do you wish to feel more free? You know, feel more free in your peace, feel more free in your second guessing. You know, I just did a virtual retreat last weekend, and part of it is that we make these sacred commitments. And one of my sacred commitment was to stop second guessing myself. I wrote it more eloquently, but like, I realized that by second guessing myself, I'm not feeling free. I'm just going back, like I'm free in the moment, and then I kind of just let that freedom just go somewhere else, you know? And so this is where it's really important for us to get some of that balance. And this is what was really interesting, because then I was asking about leaning into faith, because that was something that you said to kind of do for this, you know, new moon energy. And what I got this is it's not just about having faith, it's about activating it. It's not just about having faith, it's about activating it, because we can have faith in a lot of things, but how are you choosing how to activate that? And we are in this Leo season, which is fire. To me, you know, I think of fire because it relates to the element of the solar plexus chakra. And so for me, I know that when we're out of alignment in our solar plexus chakra, which is connected to fire, we're not in activation. We're making excuses. We're procrastinating. We're having not these high vibrational thoughts about ourselves, our worthiness. And so this is where really right now is our time to not just have faith, but actually activate it, right? So this is where I was like, well, how do we do that? And that's where I got this mantra that I allow faith to guide me. I allow faith to guide me. So that's, if you're looking of how you can activate your faith, let it guide you. Let it guide you today. This is a great day. This is a new moon energy. And even though this new moon, for what I'm getting from this collective, is a little bit more challenging, it doesn't, you're right. To me, it doesn't feel like this, like, oh, new moon, new seeds, new me. Like it has that in this way of like, oh shit, this is a new moon. This is a new me. Like it has like this different vibe of like, you know, like that's like, I can't describe it, but it's like this seriousness to it. Yeah. Which I think is actually like really potent, because that's where like in that seriousness we get to activate our faith. Yeah. Anything that you want to say, and you know, from that? Thank you so much, by the way, for Cheller, for like giving these little one-liners. And hello there, Luna Blue Creation.
Oh yeah, thank you, Cheller, because I got some of those. I really love the first thing, that we're the masters of our domain in every single moment. Yeah, that is really strong, really powerful, and a really good thing to remember if we're feeling sad or insignificant or hopeless, or there's so much to do. How can I again, that's the excuses, like you just said, of the solar plexus being out. We don't have the faith. We can't see our ability. But when you were doing the meditation, I saw it was like we were all, you know, it was like evening time, like the night sky, but it was like there was this big, like, it was like a hill, but it was more of like a cliff, like a rocky, rough cliff that we were all kind of climbing up together. Like we're all like going through the sludge and the shit. We're all like going uphill, like we're tired. It's hard. There's confusion with it still, and a not total trust in it, right? All the time. But it just felt like we're all doing that. And once we get to the top, it's when everything opens. Like this is the hardest part of it. And there was a couple messages that I got.
Yes, please share.
Where is it? There's much. Right. So when I saw us all like climbing up this cliff thing, there is much fear because there is much to overcome. Hold on. This is, there is much fear because there is much to overcome. This is freedom. So kind of similar to what you said, there's a lot to do, and we haven't been free within ourselves of these external, like it's about getting free. Also, I loved what you said about how, the balance has been more on focusing on what we don't want versus, okay, well, what do I want? How can I bring that in? So very much like that felt like that too. And yeah, running up that hill. God, I can't, I'm like sick of this song. And then I'm like, okay, guys, it's a hill. Ugh. um, and then the other one, when in the dark. Sorry, my handwriting for Reiki is not my regular handwriting.
It's terrible. Like, look at this. This is like the fact that I can
Yeah,
still read.
I don't
Yeah.
know what this is. Um, when in the dark. When in the dark, I'm afraid to see. Oh, it was just like a reminder. It was like, when in the dark, you're afraid to see the light. Don't fear the light. So like, like when we're in the dark is when it's so dark and we don't see it, but like, don't be afraid of the light because it is there. Like that was the last one. Oh, and then it was like, at the end when we were sending energy, it just felt like collectively we all kind of have a little bit of like black clouds hanging over us a bit still. So it was just like kind of like that's clearing. Like I tried to move some of those out of the way so we all can kind of
Yes.
let the light come in a little bit. It's a little foggy, right? But it's clearing, and we're running up that hill. Our new moon is in 2 weeks. That or full moon. That'll be the full moon in Aquarius when we're here to really, release a lot that we'll be going through in these 2 weeks. We'll be ready to like work with others more. We'll have like a better sense of direction of our place in the collective, with people, with our communities. So that's exciting. So think about that if you're not sure of what things you should work on internally now. Think, right, this is not trying to be people pleasing, but this is a kind of a way to look at it also of how do you want to show up for others? Like think about that. And then, okay, how can you do that within yourself? Like the healer you want to show up to be for your sessions or for this or in life in general, what you want, how are you going to do that within? Because, right, people are going to tell you all day, like, I have a lot of self-doubt. I have my Virgo moon and my Chiron is in Virgo, so I'm very critical. So that's something, right? Of like, people can, right? You can give me praise about this, but if I don't totally believe it, I'm not going to see it or feel it. So like, these are things we have to work on. If you want to be this type of healer or be this type of person, but it's strictly on what they say about you, but you don't really believe it, then we haven't done the work. So all of this is that work so that we can believe what we're trying to receive from other people. Because at the end of the day, right, if we believe it and we see it, then when other people say it, it's like, oh, you know what, you're right, I am the shit, thank you, instead of it being like, ooh,
Yes.
So,
I love this. I love this. So like, what would you say, we'll just recap with this, 3 things maybe to kind of focus on today with this new moon's energy to kind of recap this.
Things to focus on. What you said is a good one of don't focus on the negative right now and the things that you've seen, like, right, the things that have been revealed that are dark or internal, don't focus on that. Focus on, right, being more proactive. What can we do about it then? Maybe you don't start everything today, but like start planning that. What can you do? Be practical about it. We had all of that Capricorn energy. That's about being practical, being real, being honest, being serious. So yeah, get real about what you want to change, how you can change it. A big thing is to be nicer to ourselves and more confident. That's a big thing for all of us, because if we're not nice and we're not confident, we're not going to be working on the things we want to work on. So
I love
got to
that.
figure out how we can believe that we're worth it, believe we deserve it, and focus on maintaining that mindset. Right? If you guys do Reiki, right, we all need to be doing that on ourselves every day. If not, meditate every day. Like, try to find a routine, set a routine where you can set it up. The morning is like fabulous, but if you can't do it in the morning, but just time to devote to yourself. We have to come back to ourselves, nourish ourselves, and remember, we're changing, we're different. So you need to get in touch with this new version of you, because they need different things than they did a month ago or a year ago.
Wow.
We are the masters of our domain and of every second or every moment. So we have to keep up with that. And remember your thing about activating our faith. Activate our faith so much that we are so aligned with us. We know where we're going in our direction and what we need to do. We won't be focusing on the things we don't want, the people we don't want to see, the habits we don't want, because we will be actively creating that new cycle, that new portal inside of us that we will walk to, that will expand outward. And then it's not so much work to get the things that we want or to be the people we want to be, because we are just literally operating from the space, from our hearts that are active, from an active aligned solar plexus. So we are expressing who we are and our heart's in it. Baby, that's it. There's nothing to think about. Easy. I'll see y'all when we're all healed, right?
Yeah, right. Get in touch with this new version of you. That was amazing. I mean, I just love you. And if you're not falling into the mystic, Tessa, follow this beautiful soul. You share so much information. You do lives. I know that you've been taking a little bit of a hiatus, but you're going to come back and
Yeah,
also
next
be
week I'm
teaching
gonna get back on my bullshit
on
with
your
it.
vibes. I love it. And then you're also going to be hopefully, you know, doing some more teachings in the future, like holding some spaces for that. So definitely follow. And honestly, if you just need a reading for yourself, just go to Tessa, because the thing I love about your readings is that it's no bullshit. I know this is going to sound so funny, but it's true. Like in the sense of like that it's like, hey, this is what's happening and this is how we're going to work through it. So it feels like it's like this really nice solid handheld, you know what I mean? Like versus like, you know, but it can kind of go this way, or it's like, okay, this is what's happening and we're going to get through it. And I think that that's really something that, you know, is inspiring for you as a healer. And I love you. And I'm so glad and so honored that I also was able to teach you Reiki around this time, like last year, like in September, I think,
it's
you know?
literally been almost a year. I gotta
It's
check the
almost
date.
a year.
It was like
Yeah.
the end of August. We finished the second one, I think.
Yeah. And it's amazing. And like I said, for anybody who is curious, feel free to direct message me. It will be the last level 1 and level 2 training that I'm having of this year. And then I'll go into my master's in October, which I hope to see some of you. And I just love you and you're fantastic. Thank you for doing this. Can we do this again where we do something really cool, like maybe even towards, like, not saying that we can't do something in the meantime, but like I would love to like do like a year review, you know, coming up, and like do like a Reiki cleanse or something as we do it.
It's so funny that you say that, because like literally earlier today I was thinking, like, what the fuck? I was literally thinking there was these like different spreads I did last year for like a lunar thing for the year ahead and for like just in general. And this morning I was thinking of like, how could I do that different and maybe offer a class on it for next year? And like
that, you know what would be so cool is if we offer some type of cool course or like
I would
class
love for
where
us
it's
to
like
do something super like a workshop that's more, we don't have to rush. There's questions.
And what could be so cool is I could do like an energetic cleanse, like so that you're not carrying all of that stuff from this year into the next year, and you can kind of give us the breakdown of that. That would be so cool, right?
That would be cool. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. It's amazing though. I was like, yes, that would be so great. But I love you. I guess we'll see some of you also for our new moon live sale. This is our first live sale in 3 months. So get ready for all the shenanigans.
Check it out.
Ikaru will be here. I know that you help out Kiri. We love Kiri too. So definitely follow Kiri's crystals if you're not. We love you. But yeah, I think that like it will be so much fun. It will be Ikaru and I and Pepe. So we'll see you all. Hopefully we'll see you all later. It should be really fun. Yes, let's have it. Dr. Holly, you're amazing. Oh my God, I turned 50 in December. Let's have a cleansing prayer. Let's do it. Jess after the dark. Yes, crystals after dark. I can't wait. It will be so much fun.
After dark.
I'm like, I don't even know. I'm gonna try to enter this very tame. But we'll see, because I don't think it ever ends up happening. It never ends up happening that it ends up being tame. But especially if Ikaru's here, I can't. So even if you just come and laugh, we're here for it. Which might be a great way for us to, you know, to have fun on this new moon. It's 111. Amazing. It's like, no. So everybody, let's make a quick wish before we bounce. 111. Our beautiful angels and ancestors and spirit guides are with us, encouraging new beginnings and manifesting. So that is a beautiful indication for 111. How beautiful. So we'll end with that. Thank you again, Tessa. I love you.
Thanks for having me.
Have
a good time tonight.
Thank you. All right.
Bye
everyone.